So, opportunity to breathe and arrive together. Welcome everyone to this session of Sang Live. Day meditations together, this beautiful community gathering once more. And despite the slight delay of the tech, we will still have a short reflection followed by a good half hour of practice together. And then some time for questions and reflections, whatever is left, we'll devote to that. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Zohar, one of the teachers who host these sessions. And I'm very, very glad to be with you. As you can hear, still a bit croaky, but hopefully my voice will hold out and not be too unpleasant through the session. And if it is, the opportunity to bring kindness, which is our theme this week, liberating care. So today, I want to invite us to kind of take our practice to another angle or dimension or direction, which is a sense of appreciation and of kindness toward body. And just notice what happens when I say that. So yesterday we were just receiving kindness, receiving experience in kindness, whatever it was arising with the anchor of attention. And today we're going to come closer. So not just not just the anchor of attention, but specifically choosing to bring attention to the body and exploring the possibility of bringing appreciation and kindness to the body. This what we sometimes call the nearest other. The nearest other. This, and our relationship with our body can be interesting. We often overlook the body. And sometimes it can be an object of frustration or of dislike for us. And so this question, this exploration, can we meet the body with kindness? Can we meet the body with appreciation? Is that possible? So I'm just noticing that some people are still having tech issues, and yes, they do either refresh. Maybe someone can put it into the chat for me. Either refresh your browser or come out and come back in again. May be helpful. So we want to see what happens when we meet the body with appreciation and kindness, and we want to see the impact of that. So we're using this as a way of relating. We don't need to kind of buy into it 100%. We want to see what happens when we do this, when we look this way. And so, a reflection on the body can be really, really helpful. Just reflecting everything the body does. In order to keep this body, heart, mind alive. It breathes. We don't need to tell it to do so. It does that. Breathe. It digests. It heals often. It grows and changes and evolves over time. That sense of the nearest other to us. It does all these things, and yet here we are, together. Together. And the body is also the vehicle for knowing the world. It's the vehicle of the senses. We know through the body and the mind. So, how we meet the world, how we know the world, the hearing, the seeing, the smelling, tasting, sensing, thinking and feeling. We know that through this mechanism of body, which includes the brain. That's kind of what happens when we just bring that. For me, it's quite wow, even though I knew that I was going to say that. And yet, wow. The way we meet the world is through this thing, this body that's here. And And so just to offer, sometimes for some of us, for a variety of reasons, it may be difficult, challenging, unhelpful to bring awareness to the body at all, or to treat it with kindness and appreciation. Yeah? All kinds of circumstances why that is too challenging, yeah, or very challenging. And if that's the case, we can do that. We can do that with the senses. So maybe we can just appreciate a sense door. Yeah. So just the sense, and hearing is the one I would advise. Yeah? Just appreciation of this magical thing, yeah, of the ear, including the inner ear, and how it can take in sound and process that into something that's coherent for us. Yeah? And so, that can be a way of appreciation for the body, which doesn't take the attention into the body in a way that, again, for some of us may feel unhelpful. For others, there may be no issue with that. And wherever you find yourself, that's, it's absolutely fine. Acknowledging that with kindness and working in one of these ways, which I hope are clear. So before we go into the practice, just want to touch on why do this. Yeah, why do we want to bring kindness and appreciation towards the body or the sense capacity of the body? So the first reason is that it transforms experience. Yeah. And I mentioned, I'm kind of with this ongoing illness now. It's been actually just over 2 weeks. Which an ongoing, not a big deal, but just ongoing, And as I said, the kind of conditioned response can be frustration, sometimes even like anger, like, oh, yeah, why is this like that? And then the capacity to bring appreciation, to bring compassion to the body that's not doing so well, but is doing the best it can, really transforms the experience. Ease, relaxation, spaciousness that open up with that. Also, when we practice this way with the body, with this nearest other, we're nourishing enough ways of relating, across conditions that become then more accessible and more natural for us, and the wholesome ways of relating. Bringing appreciation, bringing kindness to experience is a wholesome way of relating to our experience. So practicing here then cultivates the skill to be available across situations. And because the body is this nearest other to us, when we can cultivate looking at it, connecting with it, meeting it with kindness and appreciation, then it means that we then have available anchor at any time. And that's, wow, what a refuge. Yeah, that we can just bring the attention in to the physical experience of body, or to the sense of hearing in the body. And that can be a place for rest. It can be a refuge for us at any time, in any conditions. We can turn the attention there. Yeah, it's always there with us. Yeah? We can bring the attention there, and we can bring it with that flavor of kindness and appreciation. And that's a huge resource. And I'll just say, that I wasn't sure I have time for an example, but I think I'll sneak it in. Just for me, many of you know, I've been in Palestine, Israel recently for a month. Got back just under 2 weeks ago, and I was doing, a lot of things that were, not easy to do. A lot of protests, some of them very emotional, a lot of time in the West Bank, and having that capacity to come into the body as a refuge and to bring these qualities, these ways of relating, kindness, appreciation. Yeah. You can hear it in my voice, I think. Just that sense of refuge, just that sense of goodness that can be accessed even within difficult conditions. And so, all of this opens out from this very simple practice that we're going to do today. So yeah, let's practice. If you are If you're already in your meditation posture, then please settle into it more fully. If you're not yet, then this is a good time to choose the posture, to settle into it. To make any adjustments or attunements that are needed. So that the body is as supported, stable, steady, and balanced as possible. Already bringing a sense of kindness and appreciation as we do this. The body, the vehicle of our practice. So we're making any adjustments, and as we're doing that, the awareness coming in the body. And settling into the body. Inviting the awareness and the attention more deeply into the body, and using the contact sensations of the body and that which supports it, the seat, the ground, the mat, the bed for those who may be reclining. Inviting the awareness to settle and ground with these contact sensations. And then from there, gradually, gently inviting the awareness to open, to soften through the body, to widen and expand to the whole body. Getting a sense of the whole body here. Awareness soft and expanded and wide through the body. And that intention for practice as an act of kindness. Practice as a movement of kindness in the world toward ourselves, towards the world. So having a sense of this presence of the body, both the immediacy of the contact sensations and then this wide light awareness in the whole body. Very light quality, doesn't need to be a very intense physicality that we're feeling. And resting attention in the body. with this quality, this attitude of appreciation and gratitude to the body. As I said in the intro, if the body itself, the sensations are not a helpful place for your attention, then we can do that with the hearing. Appreciation for the ears. The gathering of sound and the processing of that sense stimuli into sounds that we recognize, that we perceive. And so we can have a sense of the whole body and just a sense of appreciation, gratitude flowing through. Or of the particular sense door of the hearing, or any other sense door that's helpful. And that sense of appreciation and gratitude that this is unfolding. It's helpful, there can be a remembering of what the body does. The breathing, the digesting, the healing, processing of all this information that creates our meeting with the world. So this is going to be our practice, and notice for yourself as we do this. It's more helpful to have a wider sense, whole body, and that just held, met with appreciation and gratitude, kindness. If it's helpful to be more specific, perhaps to scan through the body and feel appreciation for different aspects of it. Or similarly at the senses, just a general sense of appreciation for the hearing. Or going more into detail, what's helpful for you. And let's explore this in silence for a while. And pausing to notice what you notice. Opening to this unfolding moment experience. Grounded and open. Grounded in the body, awareness open through the body. Remembering this intention of kindness. Remembering this possibility to receive the sensations of the body, the presence of the body, to receive sounds and the hearing in kindness and appreciation. And we may wish to particularly turn to something that is pleasant in the body life or in the hearing sense. Meet that with kindness, meet that with appreciation for a while. Over and over, just opening with appreciation and kindness to what feels beneficial, what feels pleasant in experience in one of these sense doors, body or hearing. Maybe that appreciation is more accessible for you. Maybe that kindness is more accessible for you. Maybe that both work together. Noticing what's available, what's possible as we continue to practice. Once more, pausing to notice what you notice. Seeing if it's possible to bring that same quality, that same way of relating, of kindness, of appreciation, or perhaps of compassion, to the less pleasant aspects of experience, of the body life or of the hearing life. Being wise here, not going to the most difficult, but to the relatively mild, unpleasant sensations in the body or unpleasant aspects of the hearing, seeing if this too can be appreciated as part of the whole. The whole of the body, of the whole of the hearing capacity. Or if we can simply hold this compassion and kindness, we continue to explore in this way, bathing experience with kindness and appreciation again and again. Whether it's the whole of the body, including the pleasant and unpleasant, whole of the soundscape and the hearing, or whether we want to go closer to a particular mildly unpleasant sensation or aspect of the bodily life, of the hearing life, and bathe that with compassion, with kindness, with care, perhaps even with appreciation for its part in the whole. for the last 3 or 4 minutes of the practice, letting go of particular sensations or aspects of sensations and simply bathing the whole body or soundscape in kindness, compassion, appreciation. Over and over, again and again, bathing like a soft rain of kindness and appreciation falling on the earth of your experience, nourishing and soaking in deeply. Again and again, the whole body bathed in kindness, bathed in appreciation. When the bell rings in a moment, letting that sound be a reminder. And as we change posture, open the eyes, keeping that thread of appreciation and kindness. And keeping that going as we take our time to change posture or open the eyes if you wish to. Of course, there's no rush to do that. A sense of meeting experience with kindness, meeting experience with intimacy and appreciation. So taking your time, in a few moments we'll open to questions. If there's any questions, reflections on this practice and on the teachings today, just a reminder that if you want to ask a question, it's really helpful if you put question in capitals at the beginning so that I can kind of like flags it up for me. But before that, just a few words on our practice. As you know, these sessions are offered in the spirit of dana. And today, the invitation to practice dana as an act of intimacy, of closeness, of appreciation. Just feeling that sense of, all that's offered to us with these sessions being available in this way. And then that appreciation, that intimacy, that closeness of supporting alive for all the work that goes to make these sessions possible and all the costs of that, supporting myself if you wish for the teachings. Putting the donation info in the chat there. And yeah, let's see if there's any questions or comments. Everything is welcome. So kind of priority for particular things that came up in relation to today's practice, but it may be general questions to do with practice as well. They're also welcome. And let's see what comes up. Hoping the tech issues were resolved for people. Certainly hoping that they will be resolved for tomorrow. And yeah, we'll start on time by our endeavour anyway. Whatever happens, causes and conditions unknown. Sometimes when things like this, this is the training of the mind toward appreciation and kindness. Instead of just the frustration, we can just have a sense of appreciation all the times where it's smooth. For everything in our lives that goes smoothly, that goes well, including, these sessions, and the fact that most of the time there aren't issues. And it's such a miracle, it's such a gift for us that is so. Yeah, so it's interesting also in relation to this practice to see it with that as well. It's an opportunity, but also it's an opportunity both to practice, but also to notice if that comes up as part of the field of what's coming up. And sometimes, there may be the habitual, this is frustrating, and then alongside it, there may be a much quieter bit of appreciation. And when we notice that, we can incline. We can incline the experience, we can incline the attention towards that appreciation or that kindness. That's there. And I think that was there in the chat, initially, when the sound and video came back, and someone was saying lots of kindness, I guess, feeling for me in that case. Yes, David, question about anchors. You mentioned that we should hold one anchor during practice. I tend to have a few anchors. What are your thoughts on this? Not 100% sure what you mean with a few anchors, and like it could mean different things. It could mean that I'm at the same time I have an open awareness, and that can include the sounds, that can include the body sensations, that can include the mental life. So that can be one way, and the other may be that I move between different things, either methodically, so say we might start the practice with gratitude or an intention of kindness, which is what we did yesterday, and then move to an anchor, or have a little bit of metta practice and then something else. So it may be methodical. That's another possibility. And it may be that it's more, I'm trying this, it doesn't work, then I'm trying that, does that work? Then I'm trying this, it doesn't work. So these are all different ways that having several anchors could look, and there may be more. Generally, I think that the kind of clarity is that we know what our anchor is, and that would be the case all in the first two examples that I gave. The sense of it's an open awareness, and it includes kind of whatever arises in experience, or this is the way my practice unfolds. I do a little bit of metta, gratitude, metta, then breath or whatever it might be. And so then there's still that clarity of intention. And with a third possibility, and please feel free to jump in and tell me if I'm not answering your question or if you want to clarify anything. It can really depend. For some people, this is how they practice, and there is a sense of clarity of intention with that. Like have these different anchors that work for me. I try this, and then if that doesn't work, I move to that. It can just be interesting to reflect, because sometimes, like ask ourselves questions like, does this create restlessness? Does it add restlessness? When is this a responsiveness that's healthy? When is it just maybe I get bored easily, or maybe I'm I'm actually feeding restlessness more, it's a product of restlessness, and when is it an appropriate response? You know, you also know mind what's helpful for it. So it really depends. I hope you're getting a sense of that. So the general guideline, and this is, you know, with other things, we have a general guideline and then the specific experience of a particular person at a particular time. General guideline, you know, helpful to have, to be clear about the anchor, about the intention of attention. But it may be that it differs for you. So let me know if that responds to you. Yeah, so there's a comment from Penny. Yeah, beautiful. Notice that kindness helped me to be curious and listen to what was coming up. Yeah. So yeah, more and more I'm including nowadays curiosity and interest as aspects of kindness. And you're beautifully describing that relationship. Yeah, when there's kindness, then it's, the curiosity is more accessible. And also the listening, you know, what is coming up, you know, because we're not judging so much. We're not kind of, you know, this bouncer image, you know, of like needing to let this in and let that out. Yeah, because we're interested, we're curious, we're friendly in the attention. That can be incredibly helpful. So thank you for that comment, Penny. It's beautiful. So we have a question from Tanya there, or reflection. The moments of bringing appreciation to my body, to bring into awareness how much holding and tension there is in my body. I notice I habitually hold tension and stress. Just bringing awareness to my body with the intention of appreciation and kindness allows my body to soften and feel more at ease. This is so helpful. Yeah, beautiful, Tanya, and beautiful reflection and clarity of seeing, you know, and seeing this possibility, you know, like just this intention of appreciation and kindness allows something to soften. So we don't even need to kind of go directly to the tension and ask it to soften. It's just that sense of appreciation and kindness to something allows a softening, and to feel more at ease. And that is priceless. You know, sometimes talk about these teachings as priceless, and in this kind of way of application, you know, priceless. I was referring to, you know, being at the protests in Israel earlier, and that was part of the thing, you know. If I noticed very early on that if I wasn't bringing enough kind attention to my experience via the body, I would leave feeling quite overwhelmed and drained. But if I did, yeah, so it's not just the body experience, that kind of took care of the whole system. It brought a sense of resilience to the whole system that could then withstand, you know, the really painful painfulness of the real pain of the situation, and the particularity of it that would come up in these protests. So it's yeah, it's such a resource to be able to do this, and that's what we're doing. You know, we're practicing that resource, we're practicing that skill, starting with the body in particular. Really, really helpful. Thank you. So yeah, let's see. We have a couple of minutes left. If there's anything from anyone, anything else. Thanks, Caroline. I feel as if my attention naturally jumps from sound to body. It feels kinder to let this happen rather than to feel fixated on the need to stick to one intention with the anchor. Yeah. Yeah, well, this is kind of what I was trying to say, and thanks for bringing it up more, Caroline. Is, you know, we need to be really attentive to what is unfolding in our experience. So it feels that your attention has this natural rhythm of jumping between the two. It's a little bit, I would say, probably a little bit of this open awareness kind of approach to the practice of just being, you know, whatever is pulling, whatever's prominent in attention, that's where the attention goes. And so if you're clear that this is helpful for you, rather than trying to, bring, attention in a tense way, then really go with that. Yeah, go with that. And that's absolutely fine. Yeah. Yeah. And I see there's another question from Rivka. Hey, Rivka, talking about protests. We met at a protest in person a month ago. That was nice. When the aged, painful, decaying body of mine has nothing to be appreciated for, what kind of practice in this case? So a few possibilities, and thank you for the beauty of that question. So one is, we could appreciate the body for, its journey here. Yeah. And that, if that is a lens that's available, we could bring kindness or compassion to this, painful, aging, decaying body. Yeah? So we might take that lens, more of the kindness or even the compassion, to that. And we could, if that feels too tricky a field, like I said, go to a sense door that you feel you can bring appreciation or kindness to. So maybe the hearing, but if it's the hearing is the place where you meet pain or distress, which it can be, then use something else. Yeah, the touch, the contact with the world, the mind, the intentions, the good intentions of the mind, and the cultivation that you've there. There's a lot there to practice with, and I hope we're getting a sense of that. Really beautiful. So we've gotten to the end of our time. I see that David's added something earlier question, so I'll stay and read that and respond to that. But it may be that it's time for you to leave already, and if it is, then go well. Like yesterday, we're continuing to spread the kindness and the appreciation. We can bring it, the body or the senses, through the day. We can also let it spread out into the world as we move through it, in it, part of it, through the day. So referring to bodily sensations and senses that come up in my awareness, usually starting with dropping into my meditation posture, and then maybe starting with a focus on the breath, and then an awareness of my intention, kindness, etc. Yeah, so it does sound like it's a real, like there's a process there. Yeah, it's not just random, David. So yeah, and it sounds very beautiful. Yeah. So starting with dropping into the meditation posture, like we're doing, then starting with a focus on the breath, and then the awareness of intention and kindness, etc. So it's like a process of building up and evolving of the practice. And that sounds really useful. And that's actually, if you listen to the guidance, that's what we're doing also. So weaving together these different aspects of what we pay attention to and how we pay attention to it. It's always what shapes the experience. Hopefully that's helpful. Yeah, I see there's a question there from Jackie. I'm aware I've got, I need to close this in less than 2 minutes. So it's a great question. Let me just try and respond quickly. And if I don't, then I will respond tomorrow. More about building resilience. The body carries so much of our experience, we haven't touched on that. And so the resilience can come in 2 ways. One is that as we bring the attention, the kindness, the appreciation into the body when we're being on the front line of something, or just in our daily life, with whatever it is, then we are kind of a little bit like Tanya's question, not constructing more tension. So the body stays more soft, more healthy, more at ease, and more contained and more seen and more supported. And that's a huge, huge resource. And these qualities of kindness, compassion, appreciation in themselves are qualities of resilience. Yeah, when we have contact with them, we're protected. Yeah, and I'm saying that, and I'm aware, but that perhaps that's the crux of your question. So we are protected in ourselves because they shield us, yeah, from harm in many ways, from tension, from contraction, from friction with experience. Yeah? So that becomes a resource. If I can bring the attention here with these beautiful, supportive ways of relating, then that in a way shields me. It allows me to process things. They don't get stuck in the system, and we don't get into contractedness, armoring. I might even say soft, pliable, flexible in the face of things, which are all qualities of resilience. So hopefully that responds. And if it doesn't, do please, Jackie, bring it up again tomorrow, okay? Copy that question and bring it tomorrow so that we can touch on it more earlier in the session. So thank you everyone so much for your practice, for being here. And I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully go well.